Hello everybody, hope you're having a good day. Today we're doing the cost breakdown for our Chicago trip, and I'm going to compare it with the Anaheim trip that we did for the World Championship, which was in August 2026. This trip, 2025, sorry, August 2025, and this trip is on May 2026, so it's just like a couple months, like 9 months later or something, kind of. So that is kind of like the comparison. We did spend more days in Chicago, like I think it's like 2 more days, so maybe the lodging is actually costing a little bit more in that sense. The overall spending in Chicago, we live in the same hotel chain. The difference is this one I booked myself, and last time we booked through the hotel map from the World Championship, also Residence Inn, next to the conference. The idea and the thinking is the same. I need a place that is convenient. Duh, is on Magnificent Miles to secure, actually, in this case, because they actually have someone manning the door at the front, because I saw sometimes some older hotel chains on Magnificent Miles get robbed within the unit inside the rooms. As in, like, when they went out and do touristy stuff, people went in, break into their hotel room, which is bad because they probably lost property. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is, what was for them in the review was the they flip over the clothes all over the floor place, and then they basically have to buy new, they don't have a change of clothes, so they either have to buy new clothes or do a load of laundry, wasting either money or time additional. So to me, the security thing is kind of very important, and this place is right next to Starbucks Reserve, the largest Starbucks Reserve in the world, I think, at the moment. So it was kind of like no-brainer in terms of convenience. The security, like I said, there's always someone manning. And the third one is probably not as important to everyone else, but to me, because I was on Invisalign, was I need a place where I can get breakfast quickly and then come back and brush my teeth right away so that I can maximize my retainer time. And Residence Inn actually did have free breakfast, free buffet breakfast in the morning. Is part of the rates included in the rate of the hotel. So to us, it was a kind of like a decision point that makes sense. It If you were trying to get a hotel closer to the Field Museum, this might not be the closest one because it did take about 30 minutes bus ride to go there. If you want a place like you can hop in and out, the south of the loop is probably closer. I did look into that area, but because I'm a tourist, I Magnificent Miles is like touristy. So you go at tourist hours, which is wee hours in the morning and before nighttime, then you're safe. For the loop, because it's more residential area, so then it become a different equation. You need to figure out which pocket is relatively more foot traffic comparatively and stuff, and I was too lazy to figure that out. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's safe there. I'm just too lazy to figure out which pocket is even more safer comparatively. In general, Chicago is pretty safe. The whole time we felt safe. I, so I, I'm just too lazy myself. So to me, it's just like, just go with the tourist. There's nothing wrong if you're a tourist and you go around along with the flock, then it could be nothing wrong. In that sense, that was my mentality. So that's why the lodging decision. So as you can see, the lodging is only 25% because we booked it in January. We knew about the thing in August, the Field Museum thing in August, and I already booked the hotel, as well as we booked the hotel and the flight in August. And the transportation fee here, there's just three types of transportations. Majority of it is on a flight. The next batch is the Uber from and to the hotels. The Uber ride, just FYI, the Uber ride from, we went to the O'Hare airport. There's the Midway and there's O'Hare. The cost, I believe, for the flight, it doesn't make a huge difference. Um, but the airlines is a little different. The direct flight versus non is a little different. And what was the last one? I forgot what's the last one, but the reason we just basically picked O'Hare because I flew to O'Hare at least 20 times in my life, so I felt comfortable with that O'Hare airport myself personally. We booked the flight in August, like I said. So majority is on that, the Uber, and the first is the bus pass, which is just like $50 for two person because it's $25 for a 7-day pass for an adventure. $25 because $20 is for the pass, for the 7-day pass is $20, and then $5 additional on the new card issue, which you can get money back in theory if you register your card within 90 days. And ideally, you will get the card online and mail to your house, and that way you get your $5 back easier. But we were too stupid to figure that out until we were there. So we basically kind of like out of the 50, 10 is gone, kind of. Well, it's not exactly gone. If we go back to Chicago in the future, then we can use it. So it's not completely gone, but like at the moment, it's not recovering at this moment, but it could be recovered in the future. So you can see 39, almost 40% is on the transportation. Next is the lodging. Those are the biggest piece of the pies. The food is 16%, sorry. 16% is on the food. 12%, almost the same, 12% is on the souvenir. The actual tickets, which include the field museum, the sea-free and the sea-free ticket, is only 5%, and insurance is 3%. So that was travel insurance, kind of accidental and stuff. So the insurance is basically like, unless you already purchased like an annual or multi-years insurance, that one is basically like stays there, kind of. The ticket we got smart or gambling. We already bought the Field Museum membership in, I believe it's January. That's when we purchased the Field Museum membership. We bought the basic membership, which is only $100, comparatively speaking. The reason why I say it's only $100 is because we went to the museum 3 times. So if you think of it, it's like $33 each time for the museum, and two of it is actually including special exhibit out the free, right? So it's kind of like already kind of getting the money worth it. And we also bought, again, the souvenir and toys from there. Majority is the Field Museum. I'll show you later. That one actually get 10% off. If you get the Field Museum membership, your toys, you actually get 10% off from that perspective. If you eat in the museum, you also get 10% off. The cafe and stuff is also 10% off. So it's only working for the Field Museum, but that's basically like kind of part of the benefit. You can imagine when we bought it in January, the membership, we haven't bought the tickets, by the way, like, we haven't got the actual Fossil Museum tickets. We only got a membership at that point. January is way early. We did not know about the early admission and stuff. I believe that was about 2-3 months ago. So maybe March we knew about that. There might be members preview night at that point, kind of. We didn't know about it until around that time, give or take. My head is not thinking, but it's about that time. So it was months ago we bought the membership, before we knew about the members preview night, before we actually knew there would be a promo card, by the way. The promo card, they keep it so secretive. We did not know there was a promo card until after we went there on the opening day. We were like one of the early time slot. I know showing the videos before already. We did not know. They didn't put the paper out saying there's a promo card until after the media went in. So we were in the earlier time slot at 9ish, and we were in the line, and there was already a group went in, and I strongly believe, I cannot say for sure, that was the media group, not the 9 a.m. group, because we were all there at 9 a.m. The media group went in before they stick that promo availability flyers and rules. After, we did not know there will be a mascot Pikachu there. To be honest, most of you, if you're not at the 9 a.m. on the opening day, you will never see the mascot Pikachu, because he only appears, is a he, because the tail is the he. He only appears like less than 5 minutes on the opening day at the beginning. We were literally hunting him down. We love Pikachu, and we love to take Pikachu pictures in general with them. But apparently Pikachu has bureaucratic duties that he has to do. So Pikachu left the scene. He fled. He fled, and yeah. So nobody sees Pikachu if you come later. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So it was cool. We saw Pikachu. We got a promo card. We got early entry. None of it was expected by the time we purchased the membership. If you were members and you just trying to go before the event and didn't go after the opening, kind of before the opening, there were 2 days. And if you go after, you don't even get the promo card. So they keep it so secretive and hidden. So some of the members, I can imagine if they're Pokemon fans, then they might be a little upset because they don't get a promo. For us, we just got lucky. We went on the day before the opening, and we went the day of the opening, because to us, it makes sense, because like, you want to be there on the opening day. We plan our trip, like, as you can imagine, 9 months before. You want to go there before the opening, so then you dodge the crowd, right? You want to be there on the opening because you want to experience the opening day. Like, to us, it's not about the promo card. If we knew, yeah, probably we would do that too. But even without knowing, it's kind of like a brainless decision there, for us. So it kind of makes sense, because with the membership, you get that 2 times for free. Like, preview, the tickets is free once you join the membership. You get one preview ticket of whatever you want, and to us it was Pikachu, and then you got a general admission pair free for that year, kind of like like a general special exhibition for free, which is again Pikachu. Like, you got a preview that we chose Pikachu, we choose you twice, So that's what happened in terms of that. So our expense is actually relatively lower than if you buy separate tickets in that sense. Anywho, the total cost, you can see here. The total cost was $6,667.27, give or take. There are some cash expenses. I try to include as much as I can while my memory serves me correctly. It's about that price. There was a 10.25% tax in Chicago, which is higher than California. So also bear that in mind. This is a longer trip. It's 2 days longer than our Anaheim. It's about the same price as our Anaheim. If you check our previous video already, it's the same price as the Anaheim. The only expense I can think, because the tickets, the Field Museum membership is locked down because that's our purpose. I will still pay for the art institution gladly. The only thing I'll change is to allocate more time to go there, to be honest. But it was so cool there. I wouldn't, now, if I can look back, I'm so glad I pay for additional for the art institution. And then I also get the C free for the Adler and the It's the Adler and the Planetium, I believe that's what the two is for. Um, Maybe not as much for the sea free, but then if you don't go there, you wouldn't know. Those places, if you're allocating time, you need less than 2 hours basically. And I would have gone on a Wednesday for the Planetium. It would make such a huge difference. So, because the observatory telescope thing is not open unless it was a Wednesday night. It was a night telescope. So, in all hindsight, if I were to go back to the future, I would change the trip all around that kind of potentially if I could. But we were not there until Wednesday. I think we would not fly until Wednesday, so that would make that probably still not going to work for us, like, to be honest. But you can see the majority of it is actual transportation, which we booked so early in advance when Memorial Day, before Memorial Day weekend, price peak. So it was kind of like, can't change that much. And my husband was joking. I believe we spent about $450 per flight, per leg of flight per person. So it's basically about 1,800 of it is on the flight. And he was joking, was like, we upgrade the seat to this terrible seat, and we still had to pay $450 per person, kind of to him. I believe the transportation also include 2 additional luggage, which is like $70 for that. Because we don't want to drag, basically. We're too lazy. So when we were heading there, we were sitting in a row next to a 2-month-old baby. When we were back, we were sitting in a row right where the bathroom was. So, not sure about the seating part. But the expense is kind of funny in that sense. We could have lowered the cost of the food. I don't go to the food right now. The food breakdown, if we could have kind of lowered it. So you can see the first 2 item was chocolate. So Italy, I spent one lunch, well, technically one shared lunch with my husband there. We got a coffee there, and we got a bunch of candies there. We got a bag of expensive chocolate. There's about $70 of canned chocolate. For Roy's, we got the potato chips chocolate there because you cannot buy it online in the USA. The only way you can get it is from store, and we don't have a store in our village, so we have to go to Chicago to get it. And it was kind of disappointing because I literally expect to can carry at least 6 boxes for myself because I'm like such a chocolate addict. We used to have a Roy's where I worked, like right downstairs of where I worked. So I kind of like got a membership or something, like for, I think it's a chain, is like grocery store. They happen to have a Roy's counter, so it's always like 10% off for me. And I got at least once every month, kind of. To the point my coworkers like, stop eating chocolate, because I would be eating Roy's as lunch, when you're poor, and instead of eating regular lunch. Not saying I condone it, but like I love the chocolate so much, I would be eating that as lunch, kind of. So because I want to eat the whole thing in one sitting. Well, not I should, but I want to do it because it's kind of hard in the office because you don't want to keep open snacks around, kind of like if you start eating in the morning until you leave the day, you can finish the whole bag easy, kind of. So I was like, I need Roy's. But unfortunately, when I went there, it was restaurant week or something, I was told. I actually never see the sign. I don't even know what it is. But anyway, I was told it was like some sort of restaurant week or something. So it's all sold out except 2 boxes. So I was like, I literally like run to get the 2 boxes because I was like, I need it. I need my chocolate. So that's what happened. The next ones, you're like, oh, what's all these highlighting? So all these highlighting, places I highly recommend comparatively. And actually, I was doing a review based on the restaurant review based on the experience and not as much as on the price until I put the price in a spreadsheet, and then I was like, maybe I'll judge the rating a little bit because of that. So for those who have watched my video, Peninsula Hotel, what is the Peninsula Hotel? It was the Shanghai Terrace and Cindy's Rooftop. They're both here highlighted. They are my top picks. Peninsula Hotel, the Shanghai Terrace, I went there at dinner time. Cindy's Rooftop, it was a lunchtime. It's a brunch menu, actually, to be specific. Both full after the meal. But you can see the price difference. Cindy's Rooftop is $70, and the Shanghai Terrace was 142.46. So it was like almost double. So here's my recommendation change is if you are on a tighter budget, I would definitely go to Cindy's. If you have extra bucks to spend, I'll definitely go to Peninsula. That's basically my wording. If you're into sweets, I will highly recommend to go to LA Bordick and the Cafe Creme there. My husband loved the Cafe Creme cake more than with LA Bordick, but because I used to be a pastry person, like for a very long time, I know in terms of the ingredients, in terms of the chocolate, LA Bordick's chocolate is actually more premium than the other place. But anyway, I think you should experience both because LA Bordick, I was a little bit surprised it was more economic, just by like $2 or something, than Creamy. So I was surprised. They're next to each other. So if you try one, you might as well try both, kind of. There's the Soul Spice next to it as well. Like these three stores, I'm going to highlight it as well, right next to each other, kind of, on State Street. State and... I don't remember. It's not Ohio. It's like State and... don't remember. Maybe it's Ohio. I don't know, but it's around there, give or take. So the Soul Spice, the price of $22.68 isn't it for 2 person. The portion is quite huge. Like we had for lunch, but I'm assuming even for dinner you can have it enough for 2 person. They give you quite a bit of food. Like it's enough for two. It's economic. It tastes delicious. It has a good balance of flavor. In general, like everything about that place, I love it. If they had it in my village, no pun intended, I would gladly eat there every day, especially if I were at work and they have a cafe downstairs of where I work. I would just rotate my menu with them, and eat there every single day. It was that great, and the price is so economic. So that's why I was thinking, if I were to reduce my spending, and if I know something as great as Soul Spice exists, I would just, kind of go to the blue section, if I'm on a budget. But if I had money to spare, I would definitely go to the Peninsula, which is all the way up. So that's basically the thinking there. The rest of the spending is not that much. Like imagine if you're spending like $22 instead of $142, 7 times more. You could basically have enough food for the week, for 5 days or something. So that was our thinking there. We could if we wanted, but then that was the fun, right? Part of the sightseeing touristy thing is to enjoy good food. There are some restaurants that are not as great as we wish it was. I would not go there if I knew in hindsight. Especially there's one that's particularly bad in terms of service. Anyway, I'll do a review on those anyway. So yeah, so that's basically the cost breakdown. I don't think the souvenir spending is about 700-800 bucks, basically 800 plus 797. That's basically 800. Most of the spending you can see is on the field museum. That's with the 10% off, and I don't think we will kind of reduce it in that sense, for the spending of that, because that's the whole point of our trip in the first place. To get Pikachu, like the keychain Pikachus, the shirts, the model kit. We were so happy about the model kit. We did not know the model kit exists again until we went there. And you guys already knew my channel. I collect the Bandai models. So to us, it was a happy day. After that, everything is like not as much spending in that sense, kind of. So it kind of like made sense. Like we are Harry Potter fans, kind of, so we didn't spend that much there. In theory, you don't have to spend money there because most of the items are available online. You can just ship it to your house and you don't have to carry it because you have your limited luggage space, kind of. The Starbucks at airport here, you're like, why is it souvenir? That's the Miffy plush. So I think the day when we flew over, that was about the time when they released the Miffy series in Starbucks. And in general, I love the Miffys. And I saw the Miffy at the museums, the art institution, because I've seen it in my local Hallmark as well before. They have those Miffy dolls. Crochet dress is pretty, but they're $45 and it's very small. It's like half palm size. It's fairly small, and it's compared to the Starbucks one, it's definitely bigger than palm size. It's probably like double the size. So to me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this Miffy plush and then I'm gonna crochet my dress on it. That was my thinking, and that's why I bought it. You can treat this non trip related, but I just happened to find it in the airport. I actually found I was going to get the mug instead of the plush, to be honest, originally. When we flew out, they have everything. They have jugs, mugs, tumblers, everything they had in stock, and quite a large abundance of it. But when we return, it's only two plush left. One is a damaged box and the other is not, so it's kind of like no brainer. Of course, I buy the one that's not damaged box, right? So, but again, if I don't spend this 38, I might have already spent the one at the museum, which is high cost. So it's not that much a difference in that sense. Everything else is like kind of like a lower like price here. If I can highlight here, this is about 26, 30, like I don't know, like 40, 50 bucks here. This is the spending on 61 actually. The $61 is spending on the pennies, and I'm a penny collector, so it's kind of like made sense, kind of. Actually, probably $66 because I did get an album, which is kind of part of this line, is $5, so it's about 66. So I don't think I'll change that much spending if the whole trip was for Film Museum, kind of, It will be things we will still buy if we were on Pokemon Center. So, and we did buy a lot of it in Pokemon Center because we knew there would be a cap or limit at the Film Museum, kind of. So to us, this one is, if we're thinking of Fossil Museum line of products, this is just part of it because we have another probably like 200 bucks spent on Pokemon Center, give or take. So it's probably like a higher cost if you think of it just Fossil Museum in terms of cost breakdown. So yeah, if you guys are interested in my itinerary, I have done it in previous videos because that will help to understand the cost breakdown. But I try to compare it with my Anaheim. More days, about the same price. So I think, and most of the costs again, I think I spent even more on Pokemon merchandise in the World Championship comparatively than here. The ticket is probably cost more too because like here we'd get the field membership. The World Championship, the reason why I said ticket, because I believe their ticket costs more than the film museum membership cost, kind of. So it's kind of like neck to neck. So yeah, so hope that breakdown help you guys plan accordingly, and I hope the restaurant recommendations help you guys also to figure out like what you want and what you want to get out of it. Because it's kind of hard to figure out which restaurant is good, when you're not local. Anyway, until next time, have a good one, guys. Bye.